Hello guys, so I feel like it's been forever since I managed to sit down and film a video, so I apologise for that. My schedule has been a bit hectic to say the least. I'm just going to try and film stuff as and when I get up for you guys. Hopefully I can get a schedule going. Anyway, I'm just going to jump into this video. Sorry about that little kind of disclaimer thing. The video I'm going to be doing today is a setting spray showdown. Say that 5 times fast, I bet you can't. And the reason I want to do this is because setting sprays, there aren't that many of them around on the market. I know there's still quite a few, but it tends to be something that's more limited to the higher end of the beauty spectrum than the drugstore end. And I have two high-end ones that are quite popular and that seem to be kind of the go-to ones that people tend to get or tend to go for, and these are probably the more well-known ones. So the first thing I have here is the MAC Fix Plus, and then I have the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. So these two are going to I'm going to weigh out the pros and cons of both and which one I think you guys should put your money into if you're looking to get a high-end setting spray, one of these two, if you are looking at these two. And I'm going to start with the MAC Fix Plus. This is the older packaging of the MAC Fix Plus. I don't have that much of it left now. It lasts for ages. It says on the back it's good for up to 24 months, so 2 years. That's cool, we like that. And I'll just show you how it sprays. So you just twist this bit here on the nozzle and spray. And you spray it onto your face, not like into the air, obviously. Now, I feel like this has a fragrance to it. It reminds me of a men's fragrance. Weirdly enough, like a men's cologne. Apologies for this side of my face because this eye, I don't know what's going on. It's having a crazy day. It's really sore. Anyway, back to this Fix Plus. So I believe the Fix Plus retails for about £16–17. This is for the full size. You can also get a travel size, which is cool if you do want to try it out and not go for the full size straight away. I feel like this is good in sense of hydration. I like the hydration of this. I feel like when I use a matte foundation, like if I use my L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour matte, sometimes it can look a little flat. So I like to just spray some of this on at the end of my whole makeup routine, just to kind of make it look a little less flat. It adds a bit of moisture to the skin and just makes it look a little bit more like skin, not, you know, flat skin. So it adds a little bit of dewiness and moisture. But if you absolutely hate dewiness and you hate stuff like that, you probably won't like this too much, like if you do really struggle with oily skin. This one I feel more inclined to use as a refresher through the day than the Urban Decay one, just because, I don't know, I feel like this is more of a overall kind of facial spray as well as setting spray, and this doesn't necessarily claim to be all that setting, so it's a little bit different. It says that it is actually a skin refresher and finishing mist, so it doesn't actually claim to kind of give you any more wear time out of your makeup. I find I get a little bit extra wear time out of my makeup when I wear this, like probably a couple of hours extra, maybe 3 or 4 hours extra. Which isn't as much as I feel I get with the Urban Decay one. So there's the pros and cons of this, if you guys are interested in this. Then onto the Urban Decay one. The Urban Decay one, if you look at the sizes, the packaging pretty much it actually looks like you get more in the MAC, but you actually get more in here. I don't know how that works. I really don't. But anyway, you get 100ml in the MAC and you get 118ml in the Urban Decay. So the Urban Decay costs a little more than the MAC. The Urban Decay, I think, for one of these is around £21 and this is about £17, so it's slightly dearer, so probably about £5 more or so. It says that this is It says that this is oil-free, paraben-free, temperature control technology. I'm not sure what that whole temperature control technology thing is. I don't find that I get any temperature control out of it. This one does claim to be a makeup setting spray. Long lasting, it says. I feel like I get more wear time out of this than I do with the MAC, but it claims to do that, so it claims to do that more so than the MAC, so that's probably why. And it also says here that this is good for 24 months, 2 years, so same usage time, that's cool. I will just spray this for you, pop the cap off, and then you have another mini cap on there, which I actually like. I like to keep all these things. Some people lose them, some people like to throw them away. And then there is the spray. This again has a smell, but it's kind of just a kind of, you know when you just get sprays where they just smell like a spray? that. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like a sweet chemically smell. It's not overly bad, it's not a horrendous smell. I actually think I prefer the smell of this to the MAC one, because the MAC one just, it smells like someone's, like a bloke's fragrance that someone I know used to wear all the time, and it just reminds me of them, so it's a little weird. This is by Scandinavia, which do their own setting sprays, which are also supposedly really good, but I have not tried one. I find that the sprayer on this is better than the MAC. I find that the MAC, sometimes you get little water droplets that land on your skin, and then you have to kind of dab them away, otherwise they will just sit on your foundation and probably make it go weird. You don't get this. This is a finer mist. It's a better spray bottle, and although they've repackaged the MAC, I still think it's the same like spray thing, so I'm pretty sure it'll still do the same thing. If I'm wearing a more dewy foundation, I prefer to use this one. For me, it is a personal preference of what makeup I'm wearing, what one I choose. I think they're both really good. I think they're both good value for money because they both do what I want out of them. I think you probably get more for your, like, more bang for your buck out of this, just because it does claim to do more stuff, and it does claim to do exactly what we all want from a setting spray, whereas this kind of deviates a bit around the point, if you see what I'm saying. But on the skin refresher, I do really like it. Like I say, for dewy days we like this, for matte days we like this, so it's just kind of to balance things out. I think that the sprayer, like I just said, is better in the Urban Decay than the MAC. Honestly, it's all personal preference. You guys might be like me and want both. You can get both of them in travel sizes if you want to try them both in travel sizes. I think the travel size for the MAC is about £7. Don't quote me on that, I'm not sure. I'll link it in the down bar for you anyway. And the Urban Decay, the small one, is about £8. So if you want to try them, go for it. You do get slightly more in here, but it's more expensive. So to me, there isn't a clear winner. I like them both for different reasons, and I like them both kind of equally. Sometimes I'll just spray this on my face when I have no makeup on and I just feel like my skin's a bit dry, whereas I wouldn't do that with this because I feel like it's wasting the product, because the product's too good for that and too rich. So yeah, both of these claim to be good for all skin types, if you guys were wondering. Yeah, I really like them both. I think they both excel in different areas, and I definitely think that it's worth having both in your collection if you want both, if you're that way inclined. But that's how we feel. So who won the showdown for you? Who would you pick? Would you pick the Urban Decay or would you pick the Matte Fix Plus? Let me know, guys. And I will see you all soon. Bye!